He said,
Hey Monique, how you doing?
good, how are you?
All right. I've been enjoying this amazing early spring weather.
Yeah, totally.
Although I guess today is the end. I
Yeah.
understand
It's
it'll be
supposed to,
back.
then it's supposed to be like rain, and then it's supposed to be like 70 tomorrow, but rainy, and then it's supposed to be cold and rainy, and then it's supposed to be warm and rainy.
Yep. Yep. More typical of March.
Yeah, yeah. Hey,
Oh,
Carol.
well.
Hi, Monique.
I'm glad, what's his, Darren is a potential. That's cool.
Yeah, this is strong potential. I have to email him today and invite him to attend a meeting, so.
Cool. Awesome. Hey, Mike.
Good afternoon.
How's it going?
It's going pretty well. You?
Good. Hey, Gary.
Hi.
I don't know who else is gonna make it. I sent out the reminder super late. Hey, Brian.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad.
Let's give it one more minute. We're going. I don't know if everybody can hear the dishwasher in the background. Sorry. It's loud. Gary, do we want to start emergency management?
Yeah, the only thing I have is to remind everybody that tomorrow, those 16 over can sign up for their shot starting at 8:15. If they haven't already done so, it saves time if they go in today and get registered at least. Other than that, I don't have anything. It's just mud season.
Thanks, Gary. And I did the other day, I've been kind of watching what other towns have been doing, and I've been posting the instructions for signing up for the vaccine and stuff on the Facebook group and whatever.
Actually, I do looking at my notes. I do have one more thing. I would encourage people to continue to check on those that they have in the past that have been shut in. It's easy now that it's getting warm and there's more sun to forget about them. But I know I've been checking in on the same 2 or 3 people that I've been checking on, and they still appreciate it. So even though it's spring, there are people that are isolated or feeling isolated.
Definitely.
Other than that, I have nothing else.
Did somebody have anything? What's that? Okay, cool. Thanks, Gary.
Yep.
I don't really think I have anything communications wise. Just been putting stuff out on the Facebook and whatever. Volunteer coordination. I don't think I have anything there either. We haven't had any requests. We like saw a bump up in requests for a little while, but then haven't had anything. And there's still people ongoing that are delivering food to the veteran link and stuff. So, Ted, I'll turn it over to you for town stuff.
Yeah, my dog started barking just
Okay.
at the right moment. I'll try to squeeze this in quickly. Don't have anything directly COVID related with the operations of the town government. Town offices are open. One question that came up recently, as people might know, we accidentally left off we left off one nonprofit group that would normally be just included in the town budget and another petition article for the senior center. So we scheduled a special meeting for May 22nd, I think, which is a Saturday. And the question has come up, well, if all the COVID precautions aren't lifted by then, how do we hold a town meeting, a special town meeting, I should say, and if it's going to be another Australian ballot, does it really make sense to hold this special town meeting on a Saturday? So we'll be discussing that tomorrow evening. I'd love to think that all the COVID precautions will be lifted by then, but I mean, let's not kid ourselves. That's only, what, 8 weeks away or something like that. And, you know, this whole thing's been dragging on for a year. So to hope that everything would be, that we could have everybody meet at the auditorium in the BA 8 weeks from now is hopelessly optimistic. But anyway, we'll be discussing that tomorrow evening. I can't think of anything else. Ryan, can you think of anything I'm leaving out?
No, I think that's everything.
Ted, just hold it at the fairgrounds. It should be warm enough at that point. We can social distance on the bleachers. Good to go.
You know, we're open to all kinds of suggestions. So I'm going to mute myself.
That's okay, Ted. Thanks.
Yeah.
I can't be any worse than my dishwasher. The Vermont Council on Rural Development, we were supposed to start the community visit process last year in the midst of COVID. And so that was put on hold, but they did recently reach back out. And Ted, I'll bring this to select board too, but they asked if we wanted their summer spot, which was going to be June, July, August. And so I talked to a few people that were on the initial committee for that and decided to go ahead with that because hopefully we could do some stuff outside, but also with like the school survey actually went really well. We almost have 500 people participating in that. So it just feels like a good time. Otherwise we'd have to wait till like 2022 and the winter of 2022. And I just feel like it would be a good thing to try to take advantage of people's energy coming to the summer. So that we have to wait back to see if we're able to make that slot because there was other towns kind of vying for that too, but I'm hopeful. So Ashleen, you have a food update?
Hi, I don't have much of a food update other than the Everyone Eats program is continuing, and that's all.
Cool, thanks, Ashleen. Gail, do you have any food updates from? I know you're participating too.
So for the Upper Valley Everyone Eats, I've raised my numbers that I'm handing out now, and they're able to accommodate that. So, do you want me to go on about the library?
Gail, how many are you doing now?
Only 10.
Okay.
Run out quickly.
Cool. Let's go back to the library. Mike and or Ashleen, do you want to give a little reverse update?
What?
Go ahead, Ashwin.
I don't have all the specifics in front of me, so Mike, you can totally chime in at any point. But we are doing COVID vaccines, And this weekend, we are going to be on Saturday. We will have an afternoon. We're going to be doing 430 vaccines. There's 200 in the morning of Moderna, which will be at our clinic vaccine site. And then we're going to be doing a clinic for educational staff, which will be the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which is just a one-shot deal. And then we continue to do COVID testing, and that's it. I think, do you want to talk a little bit about how behavioral health has opened up a little bit, Mike?
Yeah, I was just going to say that a lot of our staff has been back in clinic now. We're starting to see more patients face to face. So we're cautiously optimistic, but we can turn on a dime if things start heading south at any point. We've identified that we could do that. So, but it feels good to be back in the office 4 days a week instead of 1 day a week or no days a week. So it's good to see clients face to face. I think doing remote behavioral health treatment is good for some, but not good for all. We're going to continue that service for folks that it does work well for. But I really enjoy getting back in front of clients and seeing them in person. So and I think, yeah, that's about it.
Cool. Thanks, Mike. And then let's see, Aaron or anybody or Marvin for business, but coming down the pike for just keeping an ear open if you find people who need it. The SBA and the federal government stuff is going to end up releasing a bunch of money for shuttered venues. So it could be like, I wonder if Old Church Community Theater might be eligible, and other kind of like arts venues that have closed. We don't know, I don't think the release date or the full amount of money that's coming up, but for restaurants, there's going to be a big influx of money. And then right now the state has put a bunch of money into sole proprietor grants as well. So those are just things I'll try to find. I think I was sharing those before on the listserv, so I'll round up those things. Some of them are still like, they have dates, but they don't have like full application processes or anything together yet. But yeah, and PPP is still good for another week. I haven't seen an extension past the 31st yet, though. Carol, on seniors?
Just a couple of things. One is that Margaret Pratt has opened up for family visitation, and it's going really well, and people are really happy. They had good participation. 100% of the residents did the vaccination, and 80% of the staff, which is really very good. They're having a little trouble now because they've had a little staff turnover, and getting the new staff vaccinated has been a little bit challenging, but they're working on it. And then the other thing is that the tax prep is going on at the senior center. So if seniors do need and want that service, it's available. And we don't have any idea yet about reopening the center.
Okay, thanks, Carol. And what's the best way? I know since Connie and Claude did tax prep at the space last year, I've had just like a bunch of older people knock on the doors wanting the tax help. I've just been referring them to Connie and Claude directly, but should they reach out to the senior center, or it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter either way.
Okay, cool. Marianne, did you have anything you want to add? There we go.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I was just about to tell you you're muted.
Yeah, no, something was frozen. It was just
Oh
spinning.
no.
At any rate, yes, thanks. I just got a memo earlier this week forwarded, I guess, for those other community partners that might be helping people register for vaccines. There is now a mechanism to do that as a, you can do it through your work email. I could set up an account through my work email, and then I can register somebody. I think right now call them a spouse or dependent, although they said they're going to add the word client into that phrase as well, so that, if that's easier than calling, if anybody wants that memo, I could forward that out.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'm just going to plant a seed. I was on a meeting this morning, and I heard that there is some talk about reopening adult day centers. And I think there was some talk about protocols coming out for senior centers as well to reopen. And I had asked in that meeting, there were some people from the Department on Aging and Independent Living there. We lost our adult day, OSIP Adult Day Center, during COVID. The Adult Day Center in Barry also closed. There were some folks in this neck of the woods, Topsom, that would go over to Barry. And it's a really significant loss for a lot of family caregivers and a lot of clients for whom that was really the key to staying in the community. I asked if there was going to be any movement from the state to reestablish those services, and that's not where it comes from. I guess those types of adult day centers are community generated or started. So as things as the other crises fall off the wayside and people have more time to think about things in the future for the Bradford community, I just want to say, Adult Day Center is a really valuable resource and is going to be sorely missed going forward. So anybody in the community that wants to plant that in the back of their head for something to think about in the future.
Well, thanks, Marianne.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you could send that memo about
Yep.
helping out. I know Gail helps a lot and I get random emails all the time. So, cool.
I will send it right out. Yep.
Thank you. Let's see. I don't see anybody from the schools on. Gail, do you want to give a library update?
Hi, so the Board of Trustees last board meeting decided to shoot for opening the library in May, the first week of May, when we can easily open windows and have some good proper ventilation. And also, I think what played into it is the fact that I did a lot of research on the other libraries around us, and we are the ones that are closed, and we are circulating more than the other libraries that are open. And so I think that we are offering services to the community, and people know that they can come to us. And I appreciate everybody's support. And other than that, I think that's the big news here. Yay, can't wait for May.
Cool, thanks, Gail.
Thank you.
Brian, did you have any youth sports updates?
Yeah, I would like to say about the library that if anybody was on the call with the principal search last night, one of the principal candidates had nothing but amazing things to say about the library and said that that was one of the big reasons he got into education was because of Bradford Public Library. So that was kind of neat. In terms of sports, yesterday was the final deadline for baseball, softball. It looks like enrollment's going to be down significantly this year. I'm not sure if that's, the getting the word out or if it's just people are still nervous or not sure what to do. So, we'll see how that goes. And then it's just kind of securing the fields down at Memorial Field. And we're actually, so good news, we're having Riverbend build some new dugouts that we got donated through Coventry Log Homes. So they're kind of working on that to put bases on them so they're movable. So we'll be able to at least have really nice dugouts down there for the year. And other than that, just kind of trying to figure out what's next for the summer and the fall.
Awesome, thanks, Brian. Danielle, you're just in time. You want to give a school update?
Yes. So sorry. Oh my gosh.
Totally fine.
You ever have a vision for your day and then it just goes whoosh? Anyway, I'm sure everybody.
Every day.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So quickly, big thing tonight, we are having a school board meeting, but also our first informational meeting. We're doing 2 informational meetings this budget cycle, partially because we're expecting people will call in and have their ballot mailed to them. So this gives people sort of an early opportunity to get some information. So that's at tonight. The meeting starts at 5:30, but the actual informational meeting starts at 6:30. And I anticipate that the presentation pieces will probably take about, I would say, a half hour, 45 minutes. There's going to be a PowerPoint presentation by the principals, and then the business manager will be presenting on some of the numbers. And then the board will do sort of a summary. We're also going to introduce the write-in candidates this evening. We actually have 2 Bradford people who have put in their names for write-in candidates. One is Zachary Lang, and then the other one is Megan Ballou, I believe is how you pronounce her last name. And at this point, I've reached out to both of them. Megan responded that she's going to do her best to get to the meeting tonight. I have not heard back from Zach, so I don't know if he is going to be at the meeting tonight. But so if anybody's interested in hearing that, that will be this evening. We are recording it and we will put it up on the webpage so people can view that down the road. I can try and get, I had a goal of having the numbers ready to post out here for the budget, but I don't have those ready to post as far as, copying them in the chat. I can get them out to the group probably in a little bit so that everybody can see the breakdown. But it does look like basically the tax rate or the increase is about 2.3% budget wise, so budget to budget. The SU budget was more or less level funded. I think it went up by 0.06%. And they did do their a lot of work to reduce administrative cost. So that was really positive. I was very happy with the amount of work that they put in to try and keep that budget level funded. And then some of the big things that the schools are sort of asking for or putting into this budget is some increased positions for music at Newberry. They're asking for additional positions at Oxbow for an English position and a social studies position, which will allow them to add additional course options for students, which I think is really exciting. And an additional behavior interventionist at Bradford, I think it's like a half-time position. They're adding additional time there. So those are some of the big highlights. Just so that people do know, Emily Nisley is out. She's had, her husband actually had a ski accident a few weeks ago. And so they're working through some medical appointments and stuff. So she won't be there tonight, but we are expecting Bruce to be there. So just so people know about that.
Thanks, Danielle.
Yeah, I think that's everything.
I don't see Carol Taylor, and I don't know if anybody else knows anything about the churches. It sounded like the Catholic church had been open, but the other ones were waiting till Easter, maybe. Let's see, Ramsey, housing.
I don't really have anything new. I have a meeting not too long after this one and one tomorrow that hopefully will have some clarity about some of the funding that's coming available. I do have a request from someone that had some damage to some plumbing in their mobile home and is having a really hard time finding a plumber who's willing to go underneath the mobile home and help them fix it up. So I'm just, if anybody has any ideas, let me know of plumbers to reach out to. Because I don't really know who's around in that area. So I told her I would look into it. I think it's more like up in the Newberry area.
Okay. Ryan, Chris does plumbing, right? Lacombe. Is he only doing heating or is he doing plumbing?
He's doing real basic plumbing. It's mostly heating and cooling though.
It might be worth it, Ramsey. It's just a local who just started on his own. I know he's busy, but I feel like he might be somebody who would be willing to go a little bit above maybe some of the the people that are super busy and have been in it for 50 years. So.
All right. So hopefully by our next meeting, we'll know some more about what's happening on the housing front.
Cool. Awesome. And then I don't think we updated in this meeting. We had a housing, so we had the housing forum in November, and then we had a housing kind of like subcommittee type meeting a little over a week ago. I need to get notes out, but it just not much to say there. Just there was a really good group, and I feel like there was a lot of good potential, a lot of potential steps, and then just trying to figure out next, kind of dividing up how to move forward. Yeah, so it's positive. And I don't have any updates from Mike on transportation. One thing, I guess is mostly for Ted and Ryan, but also other people to think about. I was just on a Vermont Council Rural Development Board meeting, and Leahy and Sanders reps mentioned the federal money that's coming through for towns and for counties. And it looks like they weren't sure of exact timing and an exact amount of money, but it sounds like $100 per person per town, and then $200 per person per town, because there's no county run like leadership in Vermont. So it's $300 potential dollars per person per town that's expected to come through in Vermont. And so it's like what, $700 to $750,000 potentially for Bradford. And it didn't sound like there was a lot of stipulations on what it needed to be used for. It's COVID recovery money. So just thinking about stuff that has come up, like grant writer needs and grant match needs, and just thinking about just putting a seed out there to like leverage that money to go towards stuff that could make it even more money for the town would be cool. But anyways, if you haven't heard that already, I just want to throw that out there.
I had not heard that, so that's very interesting. Yeah, my just rough calculation is somewhere around $750,000 or $800,000.
Yep.
So that's
Yeah.
a lot of money to just
Yep.
suddenly come our way.
Yeah, and the thing is, they were talking about how the fact that towns aren't going to have a lot, they're going to be throwing this money, and there's not really going to be anybody to tell you to guide you on how best to use it or what to do with it. So it's going to be a little crazy, they were thinking. They're hoping anyways, they're trying to think about ways to help towns guide through actually making the best use of that money. But
Wow.
yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Danielle.
So about the plumbing thing, I can try and get some information. My husband, Dan, he works at FW Web and has a pretty good network of plumbers or people that, they may not be officially plumbers, but have experience and would be willing to take an odd job on. So if you want, you can just email through the group or whatever, and I can try and see if I can get you a list to try and help out. I know personally we've reached out to a lot of people for some things, and we're just not getting a lot of callbacks. So it's not just this poor individual. I think there's a lot of people that are experiencing the same way. Thanks. So.
Yep, same on this side of the highway as well.
Yeah. So I don't know if you want to shoot me your email or whatever, and I can.
Yep, I can do that.
That would be great, and then I can sort of reach back out to you.
Cool. Anybody have anything else? Yeah, go ahead, Gail.
I'm wondering, can anybody tell me what the balloons are for out on the, to come into the back road, coming back, off the interstate or off 25 over the bridgeway? There's a bunch of balloons. They're purple. Is something going on at the school, or was there something else?
Oh, is it playoffs?
I'm guessing it was probably the girls' playoff game last night.
Okay, sorry. Thank you.
Yeah.
A librarian needs to know.
Yes, we should keep you in the loop, definitely.
Awesome. If there's nothing else, I think we'll skip, let's see. Yeah, I guess we could, I don't actually think we have anything to go over on that, like for voting members or anything. So we'll just pick back up in 2 weeks. Thanks, everybody.
Have a good couple weeks. Flowers
Bye.
will be blooming.
Yeah. See ya.